Hi everybody, Paul here from Ballistic Blood Bullets with a mighty video of Herculean proportions. Yes, we are going to look at some Peplum goodness from the 1950s, and it is the one and only Steve Reeves in Hercules and Hercules Unchained. A double dose of Peplum brilliance and Herculean greatness. This is the poster that comes with the double disc German DVD release of the first two Hercules movies that I'm going to chat about today, that starred the mighty Steve Reeves. Very nice indeed, and this does come with the collector's edition double disc DVD. And here we have the said DVD itself, and pretty much as you can see, the front of the packaging is the same as the wonderful poster we have just looked at. Now, Steve Reeves, 5 times bodybuilding champion, including the Mr. World title in 1948, and the ultimate accolade of his bodybuilding career achieved in 1950 when he became Mr. Universe. Now, Steve Reeves moved to New York to study acting, and upon his return to California, having moved to New York to study acting, he was offered very little work in the pursuit of movie roles, and he found that the transition from bodybuilding champion to movies wasn't necessarily going to be as straightforward as he might have thought, so that brought him down to earth with a mighty bang. But being a level-headed guy, very sensible chap, very well liked and revered, certainly within his sport and also as a human being. He was made of stern stuff, not just in a bodybuilding capacity, but in just his own makeup as well. Very sturdy, decent, honourable guy. And he kept following his dream to become an actor. And he found, though, that Hollywood offered very little in the pursuit of movie roles, and he in fact lost out to the lead role in 1949 to Samson and Delilah, to Victor Mature. And it took the next decade for him surviving literally on small roles in movies and TV show appearances to make ends meet and pay the bills. And it was not until the late in the 1950s that Steve Reeves heeded advice to go overseas to Europe, and it was then that his movie career really took off. And of course it took off with his starring role in 1958 in Hercules. And he undertook the role for director Pietro Francisci, and a big screen Peplum spectacle soon ignited the sword and sandal genre and gave Reeves the break and following recognition that he craved and deserved. He performed the mighty labours of Hercules with all his muscular might, sailing the seas with the Argonauts. Of course, famous in the film Jason and the Argonauts. So he set sail with the history-telling story of Jason and the Argonauts, and set sail with the Argonauts themselves, sailing the seas, romancing fair maidens, and taking on immortal quests. Action adventure upon a colourful cinematic canvas, beautifully rendered in all its glorious panoramic might. and here it is released in a glorious 2 DVD disc set from Germany. And just to touch upon the 2 discs, the original Hercules film that he starred in, 1958, and its sequel in 1959 that again was released with great popularity throughout Europe, Hercules Unchained. 2 very, very good Peplum movies indeed. And it is an interesting little bit of tidbit for movie fans of the Hercules movies with Steve Reeves, and particularly for Tyler Preston 20 and fellow Godzilla fans. The scene in Hercules, the 1958 movie with Reeves, where he faces the monstrous guardian of the Golden Fleece, which is one of the tasks that he undertakes, is connected to the original Godzilla movie. Now, the Golden Fleece that Hercules has to retrieve is protected by a dragon guardian beast, and the roar that the dragon lets out with is actually that very same roar from the very highly recognised mighty Godzilla himself. And the rights to the roar of Godzilla were actually acquired by producer Joseph E. Levine for the American rights of release to Godzilla King of the Monsters, which was of course the American release of the original Godzilla, and that version starred, of course, as we know, Raymond Burr. Now, also noteworthy for Hercules is that special effects were done by the legendary filmmaker Mario Bava. Now, this superb German release, 2-disc DVD, also includes the Herculean sequel that we've just had a quick look at, made in 1959, Hercules Unchained. And this is what the poster is taken from. And here we have the returning star Steve Reeves in the eponymous role of Hercules, and it also has director Pietro Francischi returning behind the camera as well for more mythical might and box office brawn. Hercules Unchained, as again touched upon by Tyler Preston 20 in a recent video concerning Django. Do go along to his channel, check it out. Django Unchained actually is referenced or references Hercules Unchained in Tarantino's latest movie, and of course Tarantino adapts the movie's title to film, and as a self-confessed film geek, Tarantino quirkily uses it with a cinematic connection between Django Unchained and Hercules Unchained. Now, of course, also a lot of you will be aware that Arnold Schwarzenegger was highly influenced during his youth by Steve Reeves, and indeed also by another bodybuilding legend, Reg Park. Now, Reg Park, also a very well known, very well regarded bodybuilder, also of course followed the same path that Steve Reeves paved, went to Europe and made some movies on the back of his success as a bodybuilding champion, and of course what else for bodybuilders than to step into the shoes, the mighty sandals of Hercules. And Reg Park again during the 1960s made several Hercules movies. And here we have another 2-movie collection on 1 DVD release from Reg Park in the starring role as Hercules. And at this DVD release he appears in the first movie, Hercules and the Captive Women, and he takes on the evil Queen Antonia, played by Euro cult favourites of the time, Faye Spain. What a lovely name for a European cult film star actress, Faye Spain. Now, Park as Hercules is larger than life in this highly entertaining Hercules adventure, and he takes on the evil hierarchy of the kingdom of Atlantis and some monsterific creatures, and the alternative and perhaps better known title of Hercules and the Captive Women, as it does indeed reflect the lost city of Atlantis. Its original title is Hercules Conquers Atlantis, and it was made in 1961. Now for me, on this 2-movie DVD release starring Reg Park as Hercules, just very quickly to end and touch upon, is one of my all-time favourites, real low-budget B-movie Hercules adventures, and that is Reg Park again in the lead role as Hercules in Hercules Prisoner of Evil. And believe it or not, this is where Hercules incredibly is pitted up against werewolves. I kid you not, it's Hercules against werewolves, and this one is from Euro action great director Antonio Margheriti, and it was made in 1964. So Hercules at the peak of his popularity, and when lots of money was being spent, down to the lower budgeted hits and popular Peplum movies and matinee plays during the late 50s, early 60s. They did the trashy B movies as well, but they did them with verve, and they were made really for fun matinee showings. And as I say, Hercules Prisoner of Evil is such a big fun movie. Now, Reg Parks as Hercules, he made a few of the lower budgeted movies, but for me he also appeared in one of the greatest Hercules movies of all time as well, and that came in 1961 when he starred under the direction of Mario Bava again in a movie which was pertaining to Hercules, and it was Hercules in the centre of the earth. And not only was it directed with such amazing visuals and a great story by Mario Bava, but Reg Park got to star alongside the legendary horror icon Christopher Lee, and they pitted their strengths against each other in the very depths of hell itself. So, some great Herculean movie goodness on 2 very cool DVDs, particularly the German collector's edition 2 DVD release of the Steve Reeves movies Hercules and Hercules Unchained. Very, very cool movies indeed. Let me know what your thoughts are on these, the Peplum movies, the Sword and Sandal movies. I've got a lot more in the collection. If this has whetted your appetite and you'd like to see more, please leave me a comment, let me know. I'll be happy to do future videos on the genre, but also give me your thoughts on Steve Reeves and these Herculean movies. But for now, thank you very, very much indeed, as always, for watching. Take care, everybody. See you all soon. Bye for now.